preceding has been a Learfield presentation of the Crimson Tide Sports Network.
Hey folks, this is Arthur Seaton, managing partner at University Kia, proudly saying Roll Tide and War Eagle. Stop into University Kia today and shop one of the area's largest selection of new Kias, including Fortes, Seltos, Telluride, and Popular Carnival, and fully electric EV6. View all the great specials at universitykia.com and get pre-approved in minutes so you can drive home your new Kia you really want, because we want to see you in a University Kia.
When you call most roofing companies, all you'll hear is, you need a new roof. Not when you call Fleming. At Fleming Roofing and Restoration, we're focused on your needs, whether it's an easy repair or a full roof replacement. Folks around here have trusted Fleming since 1965 for all their residential and commercial roofing needs. And as the area's storm damage experts, Fleming knows all the ins and outs of the insurance claims process. Log on FlemingHSV.com to schedule your free estimate today. Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
WZZN, Union Grove, Huntsville, Alabama. 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Well, welcome. We're here today to celebrate a tough team, a storied football program. This year's Commander-in-Chief Trophy winners, the Army Black Knights. We're also joined by Army's football's biggest fans, Bill and Steve of the radio show Crawdad's Countdown to Kickoff. Well, thanks for making a trip from Alabama.
Welcome, Army sports fans, from sea to shining sea. This is Bill Crawdad Crawford, and this is Crawdad's Countdown to Kickoff. And we are here today with our normal crew. To my right is Steve Cripey, the human Ouija board, the man who knows all.
That's right. The normal crew as opposed to the abnormal crew. Yeah.
Well, we got a member of the abnormal crew, too, and that's Barrett the Dirt Pig Crawford. Barrett, how you doing today?
Hello, it's owl hunting season.
It is indeed owl hunting, and we've got the first one in the bag. We're going to stuff him and put him up on the wall. But, folks, we are here today to do a couple of things. One, we're going to talk Army football, as we always do. In a few minutes, we're going to have Coach Saturnio on, who is our special teams coach.
So he's not going to be talking Army football? You said one thing, talk Army football, and then...
Just a coffee talk.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. He can talk about whatever he wants to, but I think we may get him engaged in a little Army football conversation. And after that, we're going to do some analysis of our great win versus the FAU Owls. And then we're going to talk about our upcoming game against William Marsh Rice University, commonly known as Rice, and their Owls. But before we get started, I want to mention something about one of our sponsors, and that is North Alabama Mortgage. You can see them at northalabamamortgage.com. Brian Hammaker and his crew. I spoke to Brian today, and he is excited about the lowering of the interest rates. And as if you follow that kind of stuff, it went down, 0.5 today?
50 basis points.
That's a good deal.
Also known as 0.5%.
Yeah.
So, folks, if you are in that market, now is a good time to refinance if you want to, if you got a higher rate in your earlier mortgage, or if you just want to refinance and cash out and pay off some high interest credit card debt. Now is the time to do it. And the place to do it is North Alabama Mortgage, and visit Brian and his team at northalabamamortgage.com.
Are good people.
MR good people. Get her done. Okay.
Outstanding. Yeah. So you need to tell us. You need to tell us about your excursion down to Boca Raton 2 weeks ago.
Palm trees, huh?
Yeah, palm trees and heat. I did go to Boca Raton as a card-carrying member of the ESPN media for ESPN Radio. At the stadium, folks, it was probably the hottest I've ever been in my life. It was a 108-degree heat index, and people were dropping like flies. I went with some of my relatives, and they couldn't stay past the first quarter, which freed me up to go into the press box, which is a nice air-conditioned place to watch that victory. And the cool thing was, I've never really done this before, but after the game, I got to participate in the press conference with Coach Monken. went down to the locker room after the game and hung out with the team for a little while. They came in and they were all fired up. High five quarterback Bryson Daly, which was pretty cool. And then we stood outside the locker room and listened to the Army team sing "On Brave Old Army Team" to the top of their lungs. And then we had the players come out. We had Noah Short come out with Bryson Daly, interviewed those guys. And then we had Max DiDomenico and Matthew Rhodes, the punter, who scored the touchdown on the fake field goal play.
That was a remarkable play.
That way, I'm sure we'll get into that later on. And then also got to interview Coach Monken. And I'll tell you all this. I asked Coach Monken, I've said, it's pretty hot down here, black uniforms. Do you think that had any effect on the play? And he said, Crawdad, I guess he knows who I am now. He said, "You're from Alabama. Did you bring your Speedo with you?" And I said, "No, Coach, that's a sight you don't even."
Yeah, that's not an image. Yeah, just
even for the radio, that's not a
that's
good
right.
image.
I think I'm heading to the eye wash station after that one. Just
But it was interesting too at the start of the game. The crowd was sparse anyway, and everybody from Florida Atlantic, the student body, seemed like they had just came from the beach. The girls were in bikinis and the guys didn't have any shirts on. And at the start of the second half, there were probably less than 500 people in that stadium. It was unbearable.
yeah, and I tell you, I think that's one of the reasons. I think they probably saw it with Navy. One of the reasons American Athletic Conference wanted Army. They know we travel well, and I think you said at one point there are probably more Army fans in the stands than Florida Atlantic fans, and I think that's fantastic. I hope we get the reputation of outnumbering the home team.
You always have a group of cadets there. Always have a group of cadets.
And they're louder than the average fan anyway. So that was good. Well, what a great experience,
Yeah,
man.
very cool.
That's good stuff to, and just as you talk about that, and I think hopefully it comes out in our radio program here, but we're not just doing this because it's a gig. We are fans. We are passion fans. And just as you talked about that, Bill, there was part of that young fan that came out in your account there. So that's good stuff.
Well, I'll give one more little tale from the post-game interview. And I interviewed, Max DiDomenico, who intercepted a pass. And I asked him a question about the Heat. And he said, well,
See, Crawdad has this fixation. He has this fetish about weather. All things meteorological.
If you were down there in that heat,
Especially
you would have had a question about it too. But I asked.
So you're saying your brain was baked?
My
And
brain was
yeah.
baked.
Didn't hydrate properly.
Yes.
But I asked,
Man,
Max,
it's hot out here.
I said, did the heat have anything to do with you in this game, or did it bother you at all? And he said the heat doesn't. And actually, I asked him, I said, would you rather have played in this heat or spend another week at Camp Buckner? And he said, sir, this heat doesn't bother us. And as far as Camp Buckner goes, I just really enjoyed that. And I said, Max, you're still under the honor code. and for those, Camp Buckner is where cadets do a lot of summer training, and it is, we've all done
No
it.
air conditioning.
Yeah.
No air conditioning, no nothing. But now, Steve, you're right. That, as I was telling you guys over dinner, that was a highlight in my little life, was being able to go down there and watch the game from the press box and hang out with the team for a little bit after the game. And then not only that, but watch Army just really put a whoop.
Yeah, that was an exciting game, because I think a lot of us, we came out of Lehigh going, okay, was that just a fluke? Okay, it was an FCS team and that, but it just seemed like they put it all together. I mean, the 44-yard pass for a touchdown that Bryson Daly threw was probably the perfect pass that he's thrown. Now, granted, he went 1 for 4 out of the game. Need to get that average up consistently, but that was great. It just seemed like we were clicking on all cylinders. Special teams, I'm really looking forward to talking with Coach Saturnio, because under his leadership, special teams have really become a weapon. It's not just the guys just end on the field as you're transitioning from offense to defense or vice versa. These are guys that are impacting the outcome of the game. So good stuff. Yeah, it was a complete game. Pretty exciting to watch.
Yeah, and as the first American Athletic, the first conference win too, to get under your belt, that's big. Big conference.
It's the first
we're in
conference.
it.
It's the first conference win we've had in a long, long time. So, folks, I do believe we're going to go ahead and take a quick break here in a second, and then we will have Coach Saturnio join us in just a minute. So we're going to go ahead, Bailey, and get us out of here for a couple of minutes. And folks, stay tuned. Put your ears on, because we got a great interview with our special teams coach coming right up after this break.
Log on today, 977ESPN.com.
Tom Abraham here for my friends at North Alabama Mortgage. Did you know that average home equity is at an all-time high, but so is average consumer debt? Even though rates are higher now, you can use your equity to pay off your high consumer debt, student loans, etc., then refi when the rates drop. Don't put off that new home purchase. When rates drop, prices will go up. Buy now and get the best price, and then refi when the rates drop. This is the time to talk to the experts at North Alabama Mortgage. Visit NorthAlabamaMortgage.com for more information.
Looking for your next adventure to be out of this world but don't have enough money to buy a spaceship and leave orbit? Well, look no further than Divergence VR theme park off of Governor's Drive Southwest in Huntsville, Alabama. Are zombies more your style? How about driving your favorite cars on the world's fastest track? Or maybe a gorilla game that has you climbing up tall trees to escape other gorillas? Wait, that's actually a thing? Huh. Would you look at that? For whatever adventure you can dream of, call 256-203-4128 to get your VR adventure started now.
No representation is made that the quality of the legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
This is Wes Neighbors sitting here with Stan McDonald. Stan, tell everybody why you're the best damn dirt lawyer in North Alabama.
Yes, Wes, at Jacob Title and the Stanton Law Firm. You know I'm a dirt lawyer, and a lot of our friends know that, which means we specialize in real estate. Now, if you own real estate or you're buying it or you're selling it, you need to do a closing. But a lot of times there's legal issues associated with that. We're a great group to talk to. My son, Lewis McDonald, heads our commercial closing division, and we approach your real estate needs very seriously. We seek to be the premier real estate closing company in North Alabama. And we do it in such a way it shows that we're experienced, we're for your success. We like to handle your real estate needs the same way Coach Dan Reeves used to say, never let them see you sweat. And that's going to be to your benefit, too, when you visit us at Jacob Title and the Stanton Law Firm. Our website online is jacobtitle.com.
It's fall, y'all, and at Woody Anderson Ford, we're ready for it. Football, hunting, hiking, we've got the rides to take you there. Hey folks, Bobby White back again for Woody Anderson Ford, and we've got over 140 F-150s for you to choose from. XLTs, Lariats, all the way up to the Platinum. And right now, you can get $4,750 total cash back on the 2024 F-150 at Woody Anderson Ford. Here in Huntsville, you see more than every day, and there's a good reason. They're the perfect size, do-it-all SUV for lots of folks. I'm talking about our Bronco Sport. From hauling kids and groceries to the spur-of-the-moment camping weekend, the Bronco Sport delivers. Choose from over 80 Bronco Sports starting at just $299 a month. That's a 36-month lease with $34.56 due at signing, zero security deposit, just tax tag title, and your good credit. This offer ends 9/30/24. Call 539-9441 for complete details. Come see us today and make it a Woody Anderson Ford. Hope to see you soon.
Hey Huntsville, looking for action-packed events? The Huntsville Sports Commission is your hub for all things sports. From youth events to national tournaments, we've got events that thrill and inspire. Whether you're an athlete, a fan, or a volunteer, there's something for everyone. Cheer on your favorite teams, witness amazing talent, and be a part of the excitement. Check out our event calendar and get involved at huntsvillesports.com. That's huntsvillesports.com. Be there, Huntsville.
Listen to the Bama Recap Show, presented by Lawler's Barbecue.
The tackle, Williams, 2 catches, 2 touchdowns, 2 electric early
on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Welcome back, everybody. This is Bill Crawdad Crawford, and you're listening to the Army Recap Show with our broadcast crew, and we're about to bring on probably one of the favorite interviews that I have had on this show for the past 14 years, and that is Coach Sean Saturnio our special teams wonderful coach. Coach, how you doing tonight?
Hey, aloha, guys. Always great to talk to you guys. I'm doing wonderful.
Oh, fantastic. Hey, I tell you what, when I look at Army football in the state that they are, specifically with special teams, I think back to Beamer ball. You know, Frank Beamer at Virginia Tech. He was the one that says, okay, special teams are not just the guys you send out there as you're transitioning from offense to defense, vice versa. They are a squad that can impact the game. And talk about special teams impacting the game as Army's opened up the season here. So tell us how had the sort of the maturation of special teams where they are such a significant element of the game.
Well, first of all, it's wonderful to have a head coach like Coach Monken, who is so involved, and a special teams guy himself, where you'll have all the meeting time that you need. You'll have all the time necessary that you need during practice. It's never going to be an afterthought. In fact, if you come to our practice, special teams are the first thing that start the practices off. So, that shows a level of importance. And I think anytime in any organization, if you have from the top down, very invested in something, it trickles down to everybody involved. And, just having a bunch of wonderful kids that truly enjoy playing in the kicking game, no matter what phase of it. It's a really blessing to be a part of and seeing how important it is to the kids.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Hey, Coach, this is the little Crawdad here. My question to you, you can't see I'm a lot taller than him, though. Don't worry.
Yeah.
My question, Crawdad, Steve, and Colonel Tom last year did a interview about the analytics of the game. And I mean, with all the fake field goals and the fake punts, how much does analytics play into your decisions and the team's decisions to, do these fakes?
Actually, at certain times it does. And at other times it's just more of a kind of a gut thing that you're looking at. And, you practice a lot of these things, and we have for years and years. And it's just so happens in the first couple of games, it's just the opportunities presented themselves over there, and the kids were just ready to answer and execute, and they did their job. And, that's one of the two things that we always focus about: do your job and follow the plan. And it's amazing when you see the kids just having invested so much time and just rep after rep after rep. And whether it gets called one year or not, but they've got so many banked reps in some of the things we've been doing over the years that when the opportunity presented itself, these guys just went out and did what they were trained to do.
Coach, kind of a follow-on question to that. Just take us through the process of the decision to call either a fake punt or a fake field goal. I know you have comms with some of the players on the field now. I know you have at least communications with the quarterback, but when that opportunity is there, do you initiate it, or does Coach Monken come up and say, hey, I want to run a fake, or how does that work?
Yeah. So in the end, it's Coach Monken will always be the one with the green light on whether we're going to do something or not, and it's what's amazing though, even though with the comms, it's the kids will run it themselves. We'll give it a call. And if it's not the look that they're looking for, or that we, know that can be successful, then they'll just change it and either punt or kick. And if it's there, then they got the green light to go out and execute. And, that's what they've been able to do. So, and it's wonderful when you see that the kids, they've worked so hard, and they've, like I said, I know I keep using the term investment over and over, but it really is. They spent so much time and effort in preparation. And, we always talk about, the more prepared you are, the more confident you'll be. And confidence is always built on the foundation of preparation. And, they go out and they know what they need to see. And if it's there, then they got the green light to go ahead and run it. And we've been fortunate enough that in the last two games, two specific opportunities came up, and they got us into some great calls and went out and did their job.
Well, you certainly faked me out, I can tell you that. But that's not a big, tall order there. Go ahead, Steve.
Yeah, let me take you back 7 months ago. So you're coming off of the 2023 season. You're prepping for spring ball, and maybe you're penciling in maybe a 2 deep kind of roster on special teams. Who are some guys that have been some key contributors through the first 2 games that maybe weren't some of those names you penciled in 7 months ago?
Well, what's very interesting is, you lose a couple of stalwarts that we've had in the kicking game in Cole Talley and Quinn Moretzky. Those guys have been around forever. And it's crazy that, Quinn burst on stage during the COVID year, and that seems like about a decade ago, right now. And so, but what most people don't realize is, although they were the starters, what a lot of people don't see is during practice, everybody else in that room, every punter, every kicker, every long snapper, just toiling away, taking the time to grow at their specific craft, but also really honing in and developing a strong mental edge, and although our starters from last year, we lost, we got brand new starters at every position this year. They weren't that far behind everybody else. It's just, they weren't at the point where they were going to take somebody else's position. And it was just a matter of time where, they kept, they toil out there in the darkness. And then when the lights came on, it was their time. Then they've gone out and they've done exceptionally well over there. And I think this has been probably the deepest group as far as from the starter down to the last person on the depth, that the competition level is really strong across the board, where there's a number of kids that I would trust being able to go in the game and not just get the game, get you through the game, but could go out and excel in the game, which is a wonderful thing to have. And it's just all credit goes to the kids and, the time that they've spent honing their craft, but also building such a collective group that really has a wonderful, healthy set of competition that goes on each and every day.
It's fantastic.
That is good. Knowing that we have backups is just great. Coach, I want to ask you about, field goals, and I'm flashing back to the 2022 Army-Navy game when Quentin Moretzky just, kicked the field goal, and the nerves and the pressure. How do you get your special teams players prepared for situations like that, where it's the game-winning field goal on the line? What is it that you guys do in practice to get that, that situation in their head?
I think some is, we go live in those situations practically every day at the very first period of every day. But more so, and this is all credit to the kids, because, they got to spend a lot of time outside of the practice field. We talk about going out and just really seeing your success before you ever have an opportunity to physically have the success. And, you're limited with the amount of physical reps you can go out and take each and every day, but it's really up to you on how many mental reps you can take. And we spent a lot of time, studying a lot of, some of the world's greatest sports psychologists. And, there's a lot of commonalities across the board, with the different psychologists and stuff. And they may have terms of different things, but they all found, pretty much are built on the same foundation. And spending a lot of time, teaching them breathing, visualization, just being able to shrink everything down. Because in the end, you want them to just go out and perform, and you want to surrender your conscious mind to your subconscious, where you're just going out and doing. And that takes a lot. It's a lot easier said than done. But it goes back to the kids and how much time that is involved in them, going at it. And each of them developing a pre-snap routine, whether they're snapping, punting, or kicking the ball. And you do that over and over again, that, so when you go out, we always talk about, if you've intentionally spent the physical reps honing your craft, and you spent the necessary time intentionally focusing on the mental side, then you should have total faith and total trust to just go out and have fun. And, why not? If you spend all that time, trust what you're going to be going out to do. And I think just having, the power of belief is a wonderful thing now.
Hey, Coach, I have a question for you about just the special teams play in general. And I'll kind of use a crazy analogy, but it's kind of like in the Army, where you have the cook in the mess hall, and nobody says anything about the cook in the mess hall unless the food is bad, because it's supposed to be good. And one thing I've noticed about special teams under you is there's really a good level of consistency. There's not anything bad really to talk about. And I know the highlights are the fake punts and the fake field goals and all that stuff, but I think the hallmark of your specialty teams is their consistency. And what would you think? Would you agree with that comment? Because I certainly think they're good, solid. They don't make mistakes, and they play well.
Yeah, I think it goes back to, again, I'm overusing this term, but just the amount of investment that not only each kid has in their particular job, but just being so locked in on the fundamentals that it takes to execute, what they're called on to do. Whether you're snapping, punting, kicking, covering a kick, blocking a kick, whatever the case may be, just spending so much time and believing in themselves and each other. And that's such a great thing, because they see this big picture. And most of the kids across college football, it's on the kicking game that they usually get their first real taste of significant playing time. And we're just blessed that those kids never lose it. There's other places where, they know they'll start off maybe running down a kickoff, and then they become a starter at, on the defensive side or offensive side. And, then guys are looking for ways off the special teams units. But, over here, the culture is such that even the guys who've been starters for a long time on either side of the ball want to continue to be starters on special teams. And that's something very unique and special about that. And, going back and, having fun with what we do, and I think that's the biggest thing out there. They go out, they're extremely prepared to go and execute, but they also truly enjoy doing what they're called to do and doing it with each other. And, we talk a lot about, very rarely do you have a job that you can do something you love with people you love. And that's what we're blessed to have over here.
Man, that's that getting me charged, Coach. I want to change the topic to recruiting, and recruiting specifically for special teams. Clearly, the various kickers, punters, kickoff specialists, and even long snappers. Maybe I can see recruiting specifically for those. But as you round out your special teams roster, are you recruiting at some of those non-high visibility positions, or are those typically players that have been recruited for another position, offense, defense, that you use to fill out the special teams roster?
Yeah, so outside of the actual specialist, the rest of the kids will just be, guys that are working through, obviously you're going to get guys on the travel squad that usually are the guys that, will factor in if they're not starters, if they're, second group guys, or possibly, third group guys. Those are the guys that, if they're going to travel, they're going to be the guys that'll be impacting you on special teams. And the great thing about home games, you get to play some younger guys that you may not be on the travel squad yet, but are right on the fringe. And, you can dress more kids at home, and, sometimes you get those opportunities to go out. And I tell you what, that's such a joy as a coach when you go out and you see kids that, are primarily scout team players, but you end up in games where you can play more kids, and you see guys running down on kickoffs, and just, to see the look on, I tell you what is priceless is seeing the look on a young person's face that can forever, for the rest of their life, say, you know what, I played in a college football game. Not just, I didn't just dress, but I actually I ran down on the kickoff in an FBS game. That's something nobody will ever be able to take from them.
Sounds like Rudy. Oh,
Yeah.
Hey, Coach, we're going to ask you one final question. And first of all, it was great to meet you in Washington this year. Steve and I both.
That was awesome. I'm glad we got to do that.
I'm glad we got to do it too. But 11 years.
Dude, you guys got shouted out as well in the White House itself. That's next level stuff going on.
Hey, it felt pretty good. But 11 years at West Point, it seems to me like you're pretty much entrenched up there. How do you like coaching at West Point? Is that a place where you'd like to stay for a while?
Absolutely. Especially with the landscape of college football now, there's something this is like the last bastion of just the purity of what college football was for most people growing up. And it's not saying that other places you don't get, wonderful experiences and stuff. But, the thing here is that the young guys that come into the program, they'll be leaving with almost practically that same group. You can't say that across college football anymore. It is what it is, and it'll never go back. And having that type of young man that you get to coach each and every day, and then you look just beyond the bigger picture. There's something so valuable about people that are still holding dear to them the value of serving something bigger than yourself. And, you go and see that, and to see our guys just grow, it's amazing that we get to see them every day in the football setting, but then there's times we actually get to see them, down the hill, and just the level of professionalism. It's amazing on how polished they are, and you talk to every parent that comes on recruiting trips, and they meet our guys, and they're like, everybody thinks that when you come to West Point, you're going to get these bunch of yes sir, no sir, robotic type of people, and they just see the personalities lined up, and they're like, wow. And then, but they all realize too that there's something not everybody can put a finger on it, but this, whether you want to call it polished or, mature, whatever the case may be, but, they can articulate themselves well. And every time I talk with parents, I said, all these guys they're just a bunch of regular kids that took an extraordinary route. And that's really, what it is, because, their personalities shine through, each of them got their own specific leadership style that they'll have. And, that's something that West Point helps cultivate, obviously, over there. And to know that they'll go out and they'll, when you have an entire country that will entrust its sons and daughters to you, that's huge. And for a guy like me that gets to be a part of that growth process, just our side of, the house that gets to help develop that type of, their different leadership skills, their different, character development and things like that. And, in the end, it always comes down to, can football provide that opportunity for them to grow into becoming the best versions of themselves, and to be able to pour into that and to see that. And it's crazy, like you said, 11 years. Right now, I like to say, I got a lot of salt and pepper. Unfortunately, it's more salt now. But when I first got here, it was starting a little salt and pepper, but there's a lot more pepper in here. But going out, and I can't believe that there's a number of kids that, classes of kids that are already, have transitioned out of the Army, and just seeing them do great things. And, every time you see young people come back and they talk about their experience at West Point, and specifically in the program, and how much it meant to them and how much it grew them as men, that's something extremely special to be a part of.
Well, if I could, Coach, I just want to say Army football, and probably more important that the military academy is blessed to have you on the staff there, and the fingerprints that you're putting on the future leaders of tomorrow. On behalf of a whole lot of Army fans out there and graduates, thank you.
Steve,
I appreciate you.
I couldn't have said it better myself. So, hey, Coach, thank you again for coming on. Obviously, one of our favorite interviews. Bailey, let's go ahead and take a break.
Thanks, Coach. Appreciate it.
Coach. Go Army.
All right. Aloha, guys. Peace be with you.
Aloha. Beat the Owls.
Yes, sir.
All right, Bailey, let's go ahead and take a break at the top of the hour, and we'll come back in a bit, folks. That was Coach Saturnio. Great interview. Thank you.
Tom Abraham Abraham here for my friends at North Alabama Mortgage. Are you thinking about home improvements? Well, use your equity now and refi later. Or use your equity to eliminate consumer debt forever, then refi to a lower rate and shorter term when rates drop. North Alabama Mortgage can also help you if you're thinking about buying an investment property or a second home at the lake or the beach or in the mountains. We have great programs to make that happen. Visit NorthAlabamaMortgage.com to learn more. That's NorthAlabamaMortgage.com.
Hi, folks. Bobby White back again for Woody Anderson Ford, inviting you to come test drive any one of our over 100 F-150s. From rock-solid, dependable work trucks to our state-of-the-art Platinum Series, we've got an F-150 for you. Test drive one today, and you'll understand why the F-150 is the best-selling truck in America, going on 48 years in a row. Just as successful offenses and defenses are built on teamwork, Woody Anderson Ford is powered by our people. Our sales and service teams are well-trained to save you time and money. And because we want your business again and again, no one will work harder to earn it. Our mobile service teams come to your home or business for oil changes, brake work, tire rotations, and more. And the great thing is you don't pay extra for it. We come to you with mobile service at no extra charge. Proud to be local, family-owned, and at your service for over 62 years. Woody Anderson Ford, Alabama's F-150 Superstore.
Forgiveness. Wow, what a word. What a gift. All of us have done things in our lives that we regret. All of us have done things that are disobedient. All of us have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. Thank God for his forgiveness. Thank God that he separates our sins as far as the east is from the west and remembers them no more. Hey, I'm John Dees, pastor at Cross Point Church, smack dab across the street from the YMCA in Madison. Check us out at cpcfamily.org.
Howdy, folks. Bob Baumhauer here. Whether you're planning a tailgate party at the game, cheering for your favorite teams at home, or at your local Baumhauers with your family and friends, we're here to make your football party legendary with our party-ready tray selections. From our always fresh buttermilk fried chicken tenders to the homemade Nana's chicken salad, and of course, our fresh, never frozen, award-winning buffalo-style chicken wings. Baumhauer's Victory Grill. Legendary fun, legendary food.
Eagle Masonry and Installation. It's right there in the name. Eagle is your one-stop shop for block, stone, or brickwork, monument signs, and outdoor kitchens and fireplaces. Eagle also offers the finest craftsmanship and insulation, including fiberglass or spray foam insulation, and of course, insulation removal. Philip Love and his team have years of experience, bringing the region the best in masonry and insulation services. For more information and a quote, visit insulatewitheagle.com or call 256-755-1556. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money.
Welcome back, everybody. This is Bill Crawdad Crawford, along with Steve Cripey, the human Ouija board, and Barrett the Dirt Pig Crawford, who, yes, he is not little Crawdad. He stands on his own 2 feet. He went to West Point. He played football there on the sprint team. So we'll just get that out of the way.
Thank you for the introduction.
Hey, one thing.
And with that being said,
one thing I do want to mention is not this week, but next week on the 26th of September, we play our third owl, and that is Army versus Temple. And that's the main game on ESPN that night at 6:30. And our great sponsor, Nick's Restaurante, Tom, is having a deal down there where if you call and make a reservation in the bistro and you show up to watch the game and you have some sort of Army garb on, hat, watch, shirt, doesn't make any difference, probably even socks, but he's not going to check underwear. But if you show up, you're discounted 25% on the menu at the bar in the bistro. So I know I will be down there. Son Barrett will be there. Steve Cripey will be off doing other cool things. So come see us at Nick's next Thursday night at 6:30 and enjoy some of the best food in town. So looking forward to, frankly, I'm looking forward to that. And so let's talk a little bit about derailing the first owl of 3. And that is the Florida Atlantic University Owls. I think that's the most complete victory I've seen Army put together in quite some time. What say you there, Steve?
Yeah, I mean, really every phase of the game, offense was clicking, put a whole lot of points on the board. Defense really stymied. Just never gave Florida Atlantic the opportunity to find their rhythm. And again, I was just excited about the run defense specifically. That coming out of Lehigh, he gave up almost 180 yards to Lehigh, and I'm going, holy smokes, we got to stop that. But I think they made some changes on defense. They brought up Cody Harris Miller, put him at nose tackle. He's about 25 pounds more than the other nose tackles on the roster, and I think that had an impact. And I think in the secondary, Jaden Mays got pulled up to cornerback to start. He's starting again this week. So I think that combination, and especially in the passing game or passing defense, it's the old, which comes first, chicken or the egg? Do you have good pass defense because you got good coverage, or do you have good pass defense because you're getting pressure? And I think they found a rhythm there. I still would like to see, we've gone without a sack. We're not doing real well, tackles for loss. That's kind of maturation that I'd like to see going forward, though.
Yeah, I look at right now, if you look at the big stats, the big storylines of Army right now, 390 yards per game, leading the nation. Active win streak, second in the nation behind Missouri. Missouri's a pretty good team, even though we beat them in a bowl game a few moons back. And you just look at how they played Florida Atlantic with the first conference game in Jeff Monken's era. It was just all put together. The offense, the defense, and yeah, Steve, like you said, probably one of the fixer-uppers is, get some more sacks, put some more pressure. But I think it was a phenomenal game, and I think those who attended the game. Did you attend the game? I can't.
Yeah, I did.
I think those who attended it and felt the heat. I don't think that hurt the players at all. I think that they just went out there and played solid Army football. So I think it was a great win overall.
Yeah, and I think the whole heat thing. I raised my hand as one that questioned the all black uniforms. But I think the players supposedly chose that uniform combination, and I think they did it just to say, hey, bring it on. We can handle the heat. We're not
afraid.
Yeah, we can not only handle the heat, we can handle it in black uniforms. And I think they took that kind of bravado and out onto the field and followed it up with action. So it was good game, one to build upon. I will tell you though, I was didn't like having a bye week in game 3 because I felt like there was just momentum with each of the first 2 games. And the players had to be chomping at the bit to get back out on the field and take that next step. And to hit the pause button for a week, we don't, no bumps and bruises that need to be recovered. I just would like to have seen that bye week, maybe after game 3, game 4. But I hope they don't lose that momentum going into to playing Rice, and I just hope they continue that upward trajectory.
Well, I happen to think they will. A couple of things I took away from that game. One is, Steve, you and I have talked about this often. Is you got to play Army football. When we have the ball, we have to do something with it. We have to either score a touchdown or kick a field goal. We don't need any more WATOP. WATOP, in case you don't know, that's an old Crawdad term called wasted time of possession.
Oh,
where we take the ball all the way down the field and then Trent Stillman or somebody would fumble it away. No WATOP this year. Every time we've had a possession, we have scored. Except I think maybe once. We're really doing well in that category, and
9 for 9 in the red zone so far.
We are number 1 in the nation in red zone offense, but correspondingly equally as good red zone defense, number 5 in the country.
Hey,
well, that's the other
right there with Bama.
That's the other point I was going to make is I think Army is getting a reputation that may have started last year in the Army-Navy game, that we're pretty good on that goal line defense. I mean, we had a stop at the end of the game where we actually drove them. They lost yards, and I was real proud of our team for doing that. We had a good defensive game, I thought. Intercepted pass. They couldn't do anything at all, and our defense played well. Hats off to Coach Woody and his team.
And I will tell you, you look at the defensive stats. Team passing efficiency on defense, 33rd in the country. Scoring defense, we're a top 10 Turnover margin ranked 22nd. We're a +1 there. Third down conversion defense, 42nd. Fourth down conversion defense, 33rd. And I mentioned red zone defense, number 5. So again, and for those who have in the past have seen my little stat sheet, right here, green is advantage. This is Army's column over here, So we're looking good going into Rice. Similar strength to schedule. But I'm stoked.
Yeah, and I like to, it seems like all the defensive backs are getting an interception every game. I mean, Max DiDomenico got an interception this last game. Platt and Mays got one, during the Lehigh game. It just seems like we can expect an interception, a fake field goal, fake punt, and hopefully we can get a punt blocked. We can block the punt.
Yes.
Well, that's kind of goes back to my cook in the mess hall theory, where you don't talk about it unless it's bad. We haven't. How many times, Steve, have we talked about Army and saying, "Oh my God, missed it by that much," or a late comeback in the last 2 minutes of the game? Not this year. This year we've pretty much dominated on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, and sadly, there is still, especially among. I know you're borderline old grad. We are the real old grads.
My hair's it's slowly coming out.
Yes, that salt and pepper thing that Coach Saturnia was going, man. We're predominantly salt there, but a lot of things from our era, just struggling through some tough times in Army football. It's hard to not go negative or to I hope we don't do ... But I tell you what, under Monken's tenure, progressively, the expectations go higher and higher and higher. And, we're even getting disappointing last season was 6-6. There wasn't too many years ago. 6-6 would have been great. So I just think it's great. The expectations are coming up and the team's meeting those expectations.
Well, I couldn't agree more. And I think Bailey's telling us it's time to get out of here. And folks, if you have that salt and pepper problem, like I used to have, except it was 100% salt, go see Abby down at Rooster's Menswear, and she'll cure that problem real quick.
Rooster's Menswear?
Men's Center. It's a barber shop.
So she'll give you a hoodie to put over your head so you can't see that salt and pepper.
That probably wouldn't hurt if I had a hoodie over my head. Well, Bailey, let's go ahead and get out of here, and we'll come back for our final segment.
Talk a little Rice football.
Rice.
Log on today, 977ESPN.com.
Tom Abraham here for my friends at North Alabama Mortgage. Did you know that average home equity is at an all-time high? But so is average consumer debt. Even though rates are higher now, you can use your equity to pay off your high consumer debt, student loans, etc., then refi when the rates drop. Don't put off that new home purchase. When rates drop, prices will go up. Buy now and get the best price and then refi when the rates drop. This is the time to talk to the experts at North Alabama Mortgage. Visit northalabamamortgage.com for more information.
You've got to experience Toyotathon at Bill Penny Toyota. They've got the selection with over 700 new Toyotas to choose from. And they've got the extras with Bill Penny perks and a 10-year unlimited warranty. So get on over to Bill Penny Toyota today and experience Toyotathon. Bill Penny Toyota in Huntsville and online at BillPennyToyota.com. Bill Penny's Toyota 10-year unlimited warranty is valid through the 10th year of ownership. Valid on new vehicles only. See dealer for details.
Tired of the same old menu options everywhere you go? Then you need to try Metro Diner in Huntsville and Madison. The award-winning Metro Diner serves up signature dishes like their Charleston shrimp and grits, famous fried chicken and waffles with strawberry butter, and lots more. Their entire menu is available anytime, breakfast, lunch, or dinner. And stop by for brunch on Saturday or Sunday and enjoy the lowest price mimosas in town. Airport Road, Huntsville, and Highway 72 in Madison. In diner or at home, make it Metro Diner.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
A wise man once said, if you take care of old folks and children, everything in the middle will take care of itself.
Hi, I'm Danny Aldridge, lawyer in Alabama and Tennessee. In the next 20 years, the number of those folks over 65 years of age will more than double. In our golden years, the most important goal is to be treated with dignity and have control over doing what makes you grateful with those you love. At the Aldridge Law Firm and the Legal Town Center, we're dedicated to help you with these goals, and we'll be there when life throws you those inevitable curveballs. Let us assist you with your legal needs, whatever they may be or become. You may reach us by phone at 256-534-3188 or online with Dan at danaldridgelaw.com. Just remember, we're here to help. Whether it's personal injury, wrongful death, fraud and cheat, or estate planning made complete, we're here to help.
By now, you know about Eagle Masonry and Insulation, and maybe you know that Eagle also does landscaping and dirt work. But how about after paint work? Shower doors, shelving, and mirrors, all taken care of by Eagle, the same Eagle that takes care of all your masonry, insulation, and landscaping needs. Eagle brings the same level of expertise to all these disciplines, and they're ready to provide you with a free quote. The website is the same, insulatewitheagle.com, as is the phone number, 256-755-1556. Give them a call and see what Eagle can do for you. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money.
Flying nonstop from Huntsville is a breeze on Breeze Airways. They're nice people flying nice people to nice places on really nice planes. Let's be direct. Nonstop from Huntsville to the places you want to go. Las Vegas, Orlando, or Tampa starting at $49. It's time for a weekend getaway or a long overdue week away. Time to check in using the convenient Breeze app and check out. What are you waiting for? Book today at flybreeze.com. That's flybreeze.com. Breeze Airways. Seriously nice.
Welcome back, everybody. This is Bill Crawdad Crawford, and this is the final segment of our show tonight. Thank you for tuning in and listening to us, and also please go and support our great sponsors, and that is North Alabama Mortgage and Nick's Restaurante. As I always say, go refinance, get a good wad full of money in your checking account, and then go down to Nick's and celebrate. It cannot be better than that. Well, this week we play William Marsh Rice University, more commonly known as Rice.
I'd say universally known
Universally
as Rice.
known. But they do have a real other name. But, you know, Rice has not been having that good of a year. I think we lead them in most every statistical category. Doesn't your little sheet prove that?
Yeah, just about. You know, there's a few out there. They have played a slightly tougher schedule. I mean, but I'd say it's still in the same ballpark. But they have struggled in a lot of elements of the game. And you know, whereas we're, you know, and a couple that stand out to me is some of their weaknesses are corresponding strengths for us, specifically turnover margin. We're a +1. Well, they're a -1. The other one, third down conversion, we're ranked 9th in the country in that. They're ranked 119th. So really struggle at that. So this is a team. I really think it's a function of the transfer portal, but in a negative sense. They've got, I think, 6 players that are transfer portal entries. But part of the challenge with a coaching staff, when you're getting these people that are already used to a different program. I mean, from a chemistry standpoint, how do you bring these folks together? And I think that's where they're struggling. They really don't have a team identity offensively or defensively. So I think they're definitely in a rebuilding mode.
Yeah, and you look at their past records, and it hasn't been too hot over the years. Hasn't gone to a bowl game, and not doing too well. But they do have some standouts. Their quarterback and running back and their linebackers. The biggest note I have on here is that Kurt Warner's son is the Rice quarterback, EJ Warner. And right now he's got a 62% pass completion, which is good, but he also throws a lot of interceptions. So bad for Rice, good for Army.
Yeah. Well, good quarterback, short to middle routes, not a mobile guy, which that's good stuff for Army. But is definitely not the complete package.
Well, the one thing about Mr. E.J. Warner, he was actually the Temple quarterback for the last 2 years, and he certainly didn't set the woods on fire with his play up there, and that's why he came to Rice. And one of the things that burns us, I'm surprised it wasn't a problem at Florida Atlantic, and that's the old scrambling quarterback who, the receivers take the backs down the field and away he goes. But I think Mr. E.J. Warner is he might have pigeons land on him. He's like a statue. And
well, hey, I mean, Army's defense needs to step it up and get some sacks.
This would be a great opportunity. I will say one area of concern: they do have a great kickoff return specialist. They're averaging 26 yards a return. By way of comparison, we are averaging 15, so 11 yards shorter, and we're ranked 110th. We just don't return that many, and but clearly they have a return specialist that can get it done if we're not careful.
And our kickoff team, by the way, I don't think they've even had one return this year. They've put them all out of the end zone. So
hopefully we can continue that trend.
Well, the ball sells well in Mikey Stadium, and that's where we're going to be playing. So I don't know. I tend to think that this is going to be another 400-yard rushing game. And by the way, speaking of big rushers, Noah Short really impressed me at the FAU game.
Oh my!
I mean, he's been impressive the last two games. I mean, he's stepped up to the plate as a big time rusher, and going into this game, I'm looking at Noah Short and Kanye Udo to make most of the carries.
Yeah, I think this could be a big game. And you look at Rice's rushing defense; they're ranked 86th, giving up over 150 yards a game. So I think it'll be if that's the over the under. I think I would definitely take the over on rushing yards.
And don't forget about Mr. Bryson Daly. He runs the ball pretty well too.
And he can pass.
Yes.
I stood next to. I actually gave him a high five in the locker room. That was pretty cool. That guy is big, man. He looks like a Tim Tebow-ish. So,
well, he was recruited as a linebacker when he was recruited as a senior in high school. That's what they had on. But he was a two-way player in high school, and I'm glad he settled in on quarterback.
Well, let's start going down the old prediction route. And Barrett, the Dirt Pig, we will start with you.
I feel very honored that I get to start. Not every time.
Okay, we won't, Steve.
So, I listed, 4 things in here that are keys to the game. Time of possession. We're dominating in time of possession. We need to keep that up. Every drive scores. 9 for 9 in the red zone. Every drive we need to get a point on the board, field goal or touchdown. And special teams. Keep up the special teams. We're just doing great. The only thing really needs improvement is the pressure from the defense on the quarterback. So I think we keep all those up, and I think we're going to blow out Rice. I mean, blow out somewhat. I think we're going to give up, maybe 1 touchdown, but my projection is 28-10. I think we're going to do well on it. We're going to do a few passes and get down the field.
20, nice. Yeah, I would hit on several of those same comments. We got to have the third down conversion rate. Time of possession, we were almost a 2-to-1 average or advantage over Florida Atlantic. Would love to see that again. Rack up the rushing yards. I would like to see us continue to prove in terms of passing efficiency. We were 1 out of 4 that held us back a little bit. My prediction is Army takes it 32-18.
I like that.
Well, I don't like it because I think we're going to do a lot better than that. In fact, I think we're going to hang 50 points on them, and I'm going with 52-10.
Wow.
I think Army is just going to run wild. I don't think they can contain our running game. I think we can contain their offense very well. And I hope this is another one of those Army games. I know neither one of you guys will be able to watch it with me, where at about the second half, you're able to sit down with a cold one and not worry about it anymore. So we got to get out of here pretty quick. Just one quick reminder to go visit our sponsors, Nick's Restaurante, and get yourself a new mortgage with Brian Hamaker and NorthAlabamaMortgage.com. And Steve, the quintessential question I have to ask you is,
sir, there are 86 in a butt days until Army beats the hell out of Navy at FedEx Field in Landover, Maryland.
By the way, you didn't even let me get that question out. So again, folks, we will be here next week. Same bat time, same. People won't even know what I'm talking about. Same bat time.
Went right over my head.
And that's 7:30 Central Time. You can watch us on WZZN channel, and you can also catch us archived on WZZN channel. One final thing, folks, I'd like to mention, If you've ever seen the Crawdads Countdown to Kickoff logo, we're probably going to start making some merchandise.
Some merch
with some coffee cups, shirts, hats, things of that nature. If you're interested, give us a bump on Facebook so we'll know if we're really on to something or not. And with that, guys, I think that was a good show. I love Coach Saturnio.
Yep.
And we look forward to a good win this week, 11 o'clock. And folks, as I say, no matter where you are and no matter what you're doing, somewhere a soldier, sailor, airman, marine, or member of the Coast Guard is standing and watch for you so you can enjoy the great life you live in this country. And go Army,
be Navy,
and beat the Owls. Thanks, Bailey. We're out of here.